Today we're at Colonial Williamsburg and we're going to go to the Cooper's shop.
So my name is Harry Taylor. I am a Cooper here at Colonial Williamsburg. So if you're unfamiliar with what a Cooper is, we make containers. So that would be buckets, tubs, churns, casks, barrel-shaped things, things of that sort. So that's what I do for a living, which is kind of an odd trade nowadays.
So what were the most common things that Coopers made?
Some of that depends on where you would work. So if you were a Cooper, especially in the 18th century, and you're employed at a grist mill, you're making flour barrels. If you're at a winery, you're making wine casks, a brewery, beer casks. Here in town, the Cooper is focusing mostly on domestic items like buckets and tubs, since Williamsburg is the capital city, but it's not a manufacturing hub. So all we really need are the domestic items for everyday use here in town. So it's a wide range.
So they wouldn't have made a lot of large casks for ships?
Not in Williamsburg specifically, but if you were to go outside of the city, sure. Virginia's major cash crop is tobacco. We're sending something like 80,000 tobacco hogsheads every year, which are very tall. They're 4 feet tall, 3.5 feet in diameter. And that's a lot of tobacco, and a lot of Coopers making those containers out in the countryside.
So, I mean, this is a historical reenactment, but there's a bit of research to it. Mm-hmm. What are the interesting things that you've found or are looking for?
The interesting thing, I think, is in our case, we were able to learn the trade from an unbroken chain. So my previous master learned his trade in England at Whitbread's Brewery, and his father was a Cooper, and his father's father was a Cooper, and it goes back for centuries even. So that, I think, is the coolest thing for us, is that we never lost the trade. It was just handed down still in that sense. And then it's really fun to read 18th century accounts of Coopers. There's one that we're just reading. It's a shipboard Cooper for the British Navy. And he writes down all his trials and tribulations at sea and all the fun things that happened to him. So that's really neat to see, because you feel a bond with them. When he's talking about trade-specific things, you feel connected. I find that to be the most interesting.
What are your favorite things to make?
Honestly, your favorite thing to make is probably whatever you're making at that exact moment. So we will get into a run of things. We might make 20 buckets, and by the end of making 20 buckets, you're not as excited about a bucket anymore. So making something different like a wine barrel would be really exciting until you start making those wine barrels. So it's whatever the next project is always the most entertaining thing to do.
What is your favorite or most intriguing tool that you look forward to using?
Tool that I look forward to using? I would probably say the broad axe, which, let me find one and I'll show it to you. It's hanging here. Now, I like this tool because it's a labor-saving device. So if I were to make this piece of wood into a barrel shape, I need to remove material from the ends and leave the middle wide. Your alternative to using the axe would be to remove all of that material on the jointer plane, which is just a big block plane, so you're shaving off a thin layer at a time. Or you can just use the axe and just remove a lot of bulk material and then refine that joint later on the plane. So I find that to be the best tool in the shop. One of the more interesting tools that we have is called a croze, and that is for cutting the groove on the inside where the head, that's the top or bottom, fits into. So this tool will ride along the lip of the container, and you can see there's two scoring teeth here and then a chisel sort of in the back that will cut that groove on the inside. And once you've cut the groove, you just measure it out with a compass, transfer it to however many pieces of wood you need to fill that space, and put the head in. But this is a vitally important tool.
What is the proper way to use a Cooper's plane?
A Cooper's plane?
Yeah, that's the intriguing one. Everyone's like, oh, this 4-foot-long jointer plane.
Right, so I'll use the one behind you here. What you'll do is judge the angle and taper. That's completely by eye. So it's up to you to figure out what that is. But you're going to hold the piece of wood, making sure you pull your fingers back to not hit them on the blade itself, which you can see here. And really, you just hold the wood at the angle you want, run it down the plane, and it will shave off those thin layers until it achieves the shape that you're looking for. Then you periodically stop, check your angle, and make sure that it's what you want.
So how long did it take you to develop the eye for the correct angle and taper?
To get very proficient at it is probably a couple of years of just constant repetition. You can do it within a couple of months, but you're constantly having to correct things. But in a couple of years through your apprenticeship, you are pretty good at judging angles and shapes.
Cool. And so for people who want to come here and visit, what would be something you'd want them to know or expect or look for when they come?
One of the misconceptions that people have today with barrel-shaped things is, one, they're called a barrel. Cask is actually the generic term for the barrel shape. Barrel is a specific size of cask, but it's dependent on the commodity that's inside of it. So that's always a fun fact to throw at them. But the whole point behind them is you can put these on their side and roll them and steer them wherever they need to go. So this is the pallet throughout history. It's easy to move those heavy weights just by rolling it as opposed to picking it up. So there is a reason we go through all the trouble to make a container that looks like that.
Huh. Good interview, I guess. But coming in here, I had no experience with woodworking at all.
Owen and I ended up being like a barrel of monkeys, just having buckets of fun in the Cooper's shop.